You're thinking about buying the Orion SkyQuest XT6 Classic Dobsonian telescope on Amazon. I'm here to tell you this could be the single best astronomy purchase you'll ever make. But here's what surprised me. After spending months with this telescope, I discovered that for certain people, it's actually a huge, overpriced mistake. Therefore, you need to see what I found before you even think about clicking Add to Cart. For the best price right now, click the link in the description. /n/n let me guess why you're here. You saw those gorgeous pictures of Saturn's rings or Jupiter's moons. You want that wow moment for yourself. You're probably tired of using a crappy, wobbly department store telescope that shows you a blurry version of the moon and nothing else. The XT6 promises a massive 6-inch aperture on a simple, rock-solid base. It's one of the most recommended beginner scopes out there. But is it the right recommendation for you, or is it just what everyone parrots because it's popular? Therefore, we're going deep. We're going to talk about the breathtaking views, the frustrating limitations, and the one critical thing nobody tells you that could make you regret this purchase entirely. Ready? Let's get focused. /n/n first, the unboxing and assembly. This is where the XT6 gets its first big win. It comes in two boxes, one for the solid base, one for the optical tube. You're not building a spacecraft. The base is a glorified, genius lazy Susan. You literally just bolt 3 feet onto the bottom, drop in the pivot hardware, and you're done. The tube. You attach the finder scope and the eyepiece holder. Whole thing took me 20 minutes, and I was not following the instructions closely. I was too busy wondering if I could use the box to make a fort. That's joke number 1, by the way. My first telescope took 3 hours and a sacrifice to the engineering gods. This, simple. Therefore, within half an hour you could be outside, which is perfect because patience is not a virtue most new stargazers have. You're excited. You want to see space now. The XT6 gets that. /n/n let's talk about the star of the show, that 6-inch parabolic mirror. Aperture is king in astronomy. It's the light-gathering bucket. More inches means brighter, clearer, more detailed views. The XT6's 6-inch mirror is a sweet spot. It's big enough to show you incredible detail on planets and drink in faint fuzzy objects like galaxies and nebulae, but it's still manageable in size and price. My first night out, I pointed it at Jupiter. I used the 25mm eyepiece that comes included, and there it was, not a blurry blob, a distinct creamy disk with 2 dark equatorial bands, and lined up like little diamonds on a celestial necklace. 4 of its moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto. That was the moment. The holy cow, I'm looking at another world moment. Saturn, when I found it a week later, was even better. The rings were unmistakable. A tiny, perfect, cosmic jewel. It wasn't a photo, it was real. That's the promise delivered. /n/n, but here's the first reality check nobody mentions. That included 25mm eyepiece. It's fine. The included 2x Barlow lens, decent. But the included 10mm eyepiece that gives you higher power, it's notoriously mediocre. It's like getting a gourmet kitchen but with a dull knife. You can still cook, but it's harder and less enjoyable. Therefore, your first upgrade, almost without question, will be a better high-power eyepiece. I recommend a 6mm gold line eyepiece you can find on Amazon for about $30. It will transform your views of the planets. Think of it as part of the true cost of the XT6. This leads to my second joke. Astronomers don't buy telescopes, they buy their first eyepiece accessory. The rest of their bank account just follows it into the void. /n/n now, the mount, the Dobsonian base. This is genius engineering. It's a box made of particle board with Teflon pads. Sounds cheap, right? But the way it moves is buttery smooth. You just point and shoot. No clunky tripod legs, no complicated knobs to lock. You gently push the tube up, down, left, right. It's intuitive. It feels direct. This is a huge advantage for beginners overwhelmed by equatorial mounts that look like a medieval torture device. However, and this is a big however, the Dobsonian mount has one major limitation. It doesn't track. The Earth rotates. Therefore, when you have an object centered in your high-power eyepiece, it will drift out of view in about a minute. You have to constantly nudge it. This is fine for casual viewing, even meditative. But if you want to show your family Saturn, you'll be saying, wait, it's right there. Oop, it's gone, let me find it again. This is the trade-off for its simplicity and stability. /n/n, let's dive into the deep space experience. The Orion Nebula. With the XT6 from my moderately light-polluted backyard, it wasn't a colorful cloud. It was a faint, grayish, ghostly smear. But within that smear I could see structure. The trapezium, cluster of 4 newborn stars at its heart, was clearly visible. That's insane. I was looking at a stellar nursery 1,300 light-years away. The Andromeda Galaxy, a much larger, elongated, fuzzy patch. The thrill isn't in Hubble-like color, it's in the connection. You are gathering photons that have traveled for millions of years into your eye. That's the magic the XT6 unlocks. But you need realistic expectations. You're not going to see color in these objects without a camera. You're seeing with averted imagination as much as averted vision. You learn to see the subtle details. /n/n, therefore. Let's get to the biggest con, the elephant in the observatory. Size and portability. The optical tube is about 47 inches long. The base is hefty. This is not a grab-and-go telescope. You need a dedicated spot for it. Taking it to a dark site requires planning and car space. If your observing routine involves carrying your gear down an apartment stairwell, this might be a deal-breaker. There's a reason they make 5-inch and even 4-inch tabletop Dobs. I once tried to take the XT6 through a narrow doorway sideways, and I looked like a scene from a comedy heist movie. Which brings me to joke 3. Buying a Dobsonian telescope is just the first step. The second step is rearranging your entire life and furniture around it. /n/n, collimation. This is the word that terrifies beginners. It just means aligning the mirrors. The XT6 is a reflector telescope. It needs occasional collimation. The good news, it's not hard. The better news, the XT6 holds collimation remarkably well. You'll need a simple collimation tool, a cheap Cheshire eyepiece, another small added cost. The process takes 5 minutes once you learn it. I'll do a full tutorial in a future video. But the fear of collimation stops many people from buying a reflector. Don't let it. The views from a properly collimated reflector blow away a similar-priced refractor. It's a necessary bit of maintenance, like tuning a guitar. Annoying at first, then second nature. /n/n now, the contrarian snapback I promised. Who is the XT6 not for? First, the ultra-impatient person who wants instant, perfect, automated views. If you want to type Andromeda into a keypad and have the telescope find and track it, buy a computerized scope. You'll pay more for less aperture, but it's your trade-off. Second, someone with severe space or portability constraints. A smaller scope you'll use beats a big scope that gathers dust. Third, the pure imager. This is a visual telescope. Astrophotography with it is very limited to the moon and planets with a webcam. For deep sky, you need a different beast entirely. Therefore, if you're in any of those camps, the XT6 Classic might be your expensive mistake. /n/n, but for the right person. The curious beginner who values simplicity and raw light-gathering power, who doesn't mind a learning curve, who has a place to store it, and who wants the most wow per dollar. The XT6 is still arguably the best entry point into serious amateur astronomy. The community support is massive. The upgrade path is long. You can add digital setting circles, better finders, a huge range of eyepieces. This scope can last you a decade. It teaches you the sky because you have to learn it. You star hop. You earn your discoveries. That satisfaction is priceless. \n\n, let's talk about the included accessories. The finder scope is a red dot finder. You look through a window and see a red LED projected onto the sky. It's great for aiming. The eyepieces we covered. The tube has a nice carrying handle. The focuser is a basic 1.25-inch rack and pinion. It works. It might get a bit stiff over time, but it's serviceable. Overall, the package is complete to get you started. But remember, you will want to upgrade the eyepieces. You might want a Telrad finder for easier aiming. The journey of accessorizing is part of the hobby. My wallet developed a nervous tick. That's the fourth and final joke. \n/n, so, what's the resolution? The Orion SkyQuest XT6 Classic is a fantastic telescope. It delivers breathtaking views of the solar system and satisfying glimpses of deep space. It is simple, stable, and offers incredible value for its aperture, but it is not for everyone. Its size is significant. Its lack of tracking requires patience. It demands a small amount of maintenance and an eventual investment in better eyepieces. Therefore, before you buy, ask yourself, do I have the space? Do I have the patience to learn the sky? Am I okay with nudging the telescope? If you answered yes, then this scope will unlock the universe for you. If you hesitated on any of those, a smaller tabletop Dob or a computerized scope might save you from frustration. \n/n, you've seen the good, the bad, and the starry. You know what the XT6 can do and what it asks of you. My final advice: if you're ready for this incredible, mind-expanding hobby and the XT6 fits your life, it's an outstanding choice. The views through that 6-inch mirror are something you will never forget. Therefore, if you've decided this is the scope for you, I've done the price hunting for you. For the absolute best current price on the Orion SkyQuest XT6 Classic on Amazon, click the link right now in the video description below. You'll go directly to the product page. Thanks for watching Clear Skies, and I'll see you in the next one.